Well, the big bucks are coming out of the woodwork, out in the open. And they're following the does around too, just starting on that. So is these old coyotes. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smokies, another chapter of As the Ridge Turns. Now, if you're new to this channel, all this is just nature in the wild, a weekly episode on this ridge here in East Tennessee. And you can see the leaves are on their down. They've done past their peak, and they're on their downward trend. They're just about gone. Since I done this last video, they came and they've gone. This little cold front. Now we've got our first freeze here. First freeze. These leaves are leaving us quick. Now I had a video here on God's paintbrush video here just a few days ago, and I showed all the colors of this ridge, so you can look at that. But anyway, I hope y'all doing fine. So it's been a cold spell now. But anyway, here at the pond, I'm ashamed to show it, it's so dry. But anyway, animals are moving around pretty good. So throw your feet up, relax, and let's see what's been in front of the camera. Well, out in the woods, you can see some beautiful bucks running around. Now, they're coming out of them back ridges. It's getting that time of year. And there's some big ones, especially at night. Little ones too, but the little ones, they think they're something, but them big dominant ones will put them in their place pretty soon. But you see them running around everywhere. But right here's old Spot, I call him. I could get a picture of him facing the camera. That's a pretty deer right there. What a pretty figure on that deer. Looks like at least an 8-point. And out on the ridge trail, there's old Dirty Dan. He's watching for them coyotes though, but it ain't long. He's still trying to fatten up. And them old coyotes, yep, they run them deer. They're running every which way. And there's old Yaller out doing some hunting on an evening. And these squirrels, they're in these acorns everywhere. So is the deer. But the acorns is not as plentiful as they was last year. The walnuts are, but not the acorns. But they're still working hard to get what they can. And they're comical too. But they come up with nuts somewhere. If there's a nut out there, they'll find it. And old Yeller, he just laying there watching them. Wishing he could get on one of them ground squirrels, don't he? What? Bless his heart. And old Dirty Dan, he's been out all day. He's coming in. And there's little old Chucky. He's packing what he can find. And there's old Ricky with one of his friends. Of course, his friend's not as brave as little Ricky is. He don't like that camera. And old Dirty Dan's returning in. He checks his scent and his rock. And he's heading on in. He's going to take a nap. It ain't long before he'll take a good old 2 or 3 month nap. But that's later. Here on the perch, old Blue Jay, little Chucky run him off. I guess he knows that's Ricky's little perch. He likes to eat his lunch. But when it comes to a nut, Ricky don't like to share much, does he? And there's old Yeller prowling around at the motel. He's looking for them little ground squirrels, what he's doing. But out in the woods, little old does and fawns, they growed up. They just peel around. They just laying down, taking it easy. No pressure on them. But some old young buck that's nosy, they following these does around. But these are the younger ones. Down at the pond, the little herd, mommy with all their little fawns, all running around, but they're watching an awful lot, watching for these coyotes. But they have a good time down here in this thing. It's so dry, it's just more or less just weeds. But here's what runs them off. Old coyote. They follow them around all the time. But they still do their thing. They just watch out for him. As soon as he leaves, they're back into the pond again. You sure they're gone? Yep, I think he's gone. And they got to come over here and say hi. They all growed up with these canners over the years. I know they have. They're used to them. Come dark, up on the ridge, old coons coming off their den. The whole family gets in on it. They got things to do. Places to be. So is old Fred the Fox here. He's out making his rounds. Checking things out. And there's old Willie. I don't know what he's eating on. It's just before this hard freeze, so probably eating on some bugs. And there's a rare glimpse of a flying squirrel. Now you see them, now you don't. Old Willie's still making his round, checking things out. And the old coons is coming through. Got to check their scent rock. Here's what they watch out for. Old Charlie the coyote. Look at it. Sorry, Charlie. Move on. These old big bucks. Gets dark, you start seeing some big ones here. I'm hoping I can film some even bigger as time goes on. The little old does. Too much going on for them. Here's some big bucks right here together. Nice ones. I know they'd come out of them back ridges as time went on. And down on a little trail here of rocks. Old Willie's bringing home the leaves. That's a bad sign. And at the log, that looks like old Stripe moving across. Old Willie's still digging around for them bugs under them leaves. That looks like old Flash there, Stripe 1. I think that's Stripe. And old Fred's moving through awful quick. But up the hotel, there's Fred and Betty moving through. And old Rocky, yep, this is his usual checkout spot every night. There's old Chubby, out making his rounds too. And there's old Willie. Carry them leaves. I guess you can't give them away. Now here's a funny. There's a joker at the motel. And looks like Stripe ain't welcome. Joker don't want him in there. He backed him down, didn't he? And there's a rare glimpse. One I ain't seen in a long time. That's old Wishbone. You can tell by the marks on it. No bucks. They just mosey around, these young ones do. Live and learn. And the old coons up on the ridge, you know where they're headed. They're headed to that pond. And the old buck's up here on the ridge too, moving through. He's liable to see anything up here. Big old buck. Here's a big one back here that didn't come up to the camera. Look what a rack on that deer. I'll get a better picture of him maybe later on. Down at the pond, seems like there's all kinds of different bucks down here moving around. Big ones and little ones. Them old big ones will be the dominant buck here pretty soon. Which one will it be? I just hope they don't hurt each other. At the other camera, you're liable to see any old buck. The different bucks. Now here's a good picture of old Hootie, the hoot owl. Great horned owl. Wished he'd turned his head around, but he didn't. And as the coons is coming in, this is where they love to be. What little water they can find down here. This is their place. They love to dig around. They're watching for them coyotes though. And they gotta say hi. Come down, up on the ridge, little old does and fawns are still moving around. And old Yaller's out early in the woods a hunting, with one eye, bless its heart. The one-eyed bobcat, feral cat. And another day unfolds here on the ridge. Mommy's still with her fawn, but it's all grown up. But it's time for the squirrels. They're so busy. And they're so funny to watch. Sometimes I think they know that camera's there just to show off. They're so relaxing to watch. Well, that's just what stepped in front of the cameras. I thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy these little videos. So God bless, take care, and I'll see you next time.